As we come back, let's remind you that at the Post Live, Serling at Saratoga is coming to you from the Party Glass Pub in downtown Saratoga and is presented by NYRABETS. Join NYRABETS and earn up to 50,000 points and $100 cash bonus by using promo code SUNRISE. Sign up at NYRABETS.com. NYRABETS, racing's best play. Thanks a lot for staying with us. We're back at the Post Live. I'm very happy to have my second guest on. I don't know if you're familiar with the man to my right, but this is Sol Kumin. And Sol has very quickly become one of the most well-known owners in the game. Sol, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
You're having a pretty good year. Now, if you're not familiar with Sol, now, one of the first horses you bought was Lady Eli. Is that true?
That is correct. Coming back, we hope.
How's she doing? How's Lady Eli doing?
She's doing great. She had her third breeze at Belmont this past weekend, and we're hoping we can get another 4 or 5 breezes in her, and hopefully we can get pick a race and bring her back. She's doing an unbelievable job, so we're excited.
Pretty excited. So when did you first get into the game?
About 2.5 years ago. I didn't grow up knowing anything about racing. I grew up in Boston, and there was Suffolk Downs, but we didn't spend a lot of time at Suffolk Downs.
This is Saratoga.
Yeah, beautiful place. And I had a buddy of mine just told me he thought I'd like it, and we bought a couple of horses together, and Lady Eli was in our first batch, so we got obviously extremely lucky, and from then on I kind of got hooked.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I mean, to get a horse like that, she's obviously a phenomenal horse, and people are waiting, hoping she gets back soon. But you had some other incredible success. You wanted to exaggerate her this year.
We did. Yeah, we did. We had a great run with Exaggerator. That was exciting. And that was just an amazing journey. I mean, you realize, the people that follow horse racing that love it follow it pretty closely. But when you get into those Triple Crown races, it becomes there's just a lot more people to watch. So my horse racing habit was I was able to keep it a little bit quiet with my other job, my finance job, and as soon as the Preakness happened, the cat was out of the bag. So.
Right. So now you went to school in Baltimore, Johns Hopkins. Was the Preakness the most exciting thing that ever happened to you in Baltimore?
I'm trying to think of a couple of good nights in college. I think that would probably, a few good nights. But yeah, it really was. It was amazing. The Derby was an incredible experience. We had 2 horses that ran, and obviously Exaggerator being better of the 2. But it was a little bit of a stressful day. I had my in-laws. That's always stressful. I had my parents.
My wife is not here.
My wife is not here. My in-laws are definitely not here.
Or listening.
Yeah, or listening. Thank you. But I had my kids, I had 3 little kids, and my parents, and just there was a good 35 people with us. So it was a fun weekend, but it was, I just felt like I was a babysitter. The Preakness, I went with 4 buddies, and we drank a lot of vodka throughout the day, and then won the race in the rain, and it was back in Baltimore. So it really was one of the most fun afternoons I've ever had. I'll never forget.
So after that, I guess the family come to Belmont. Because if they all came to Belmont, they're never allowed back, right? So versus from.
If I have some Saratoga, your family won't come. My family, no, part of it. Like, we didn't bring the kids. We had a few. My dad was there, and my wife was there. So I would say a partial mix of them.
So he's expected to come back and run next weekend to Danny against Creators. Is he doing well since the Belmont?
Yeah, he's had a couple of interesting breezes. He went pretty slow 2 weeks ago and then super fast this past week. So I think we're leaning towards running him. My guess is it'll obviously be Keith's decision. If I had to guess, I'd say 70-30 he'll run. But he's going to breeze, I believe, on Saturday. And if that goes well, he'll make the decision. And hopefully we'll run. So I think so.
You've gotten involved in the game in different ways, because you've obviously bought Lady Eli as a yearling, and I imagine you buy other yearlings as well, but you've also gotten involved with other partnerships, and you've got a number of partnerships.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, I started with a group of, I think it was 6 buddies of mine that bought a few horses together, and then 3 of us liked it and were sort of into it, so we set up a separate partnership. Then I had a few other buddies that wanted to do it, so I set up another group. So they're not really big groups. Each one is somewhere between, I would say, 2 and 5 people. Most of them are 2 or 3 people. I brought a bunch of good friends of mine that really, just like me, knew nothing about racing. And we tried to do it just a little bit differently than maybe some other people have come at it in the past. And we've had some very good luck over the last year and a half, and we're having a blast. So far it's been great.
Now, what if you could say one or two things. So one thing, what is it? I mean, we love racing. You're in a town, a place where people love horse racing. Obviously, the rest of the world doesn't necessarily agree with us, which is fine. What is it about racing that's, because you've obviously become consumed by racing over the last couple of years. What is it about the game?
So I guess I love to win. I mean, I've always hated to lose in anything. So that's one. I mean, I love that there's a scorecard at the end of every race, and I love the build up to get to the race. You know, I love finding the horse and then trying to break the horse in the right place with the right team, and then have the right trainer train the horse, and have the right partners, and have the right jockey on the horse and win the race. And that whole process is just so satisfying. I love that part of it. I also, I love the mornings. I mean, that's the part of it that probably caught me by the biggest surprise. I mean, I woke up this morning here at 4:50, and I'm like just waiting until I can go to the track, and I'll sit out there by myself, walk around the barns, petting the horses, talking to them. I'll tell people that.
No,
don't worry. But it's that part that's the best part for me. And I've also made some unbelievable friends. I mean, I just turned 41, and I've got a group of friends from college and from work and family. And all of a sudden, this has been a 2-3 year thing for me. I have 30, 40 brand new friends that are from different parts of the world and been successful in different things that they've done. And it's fun. It's exciting.
I think one of the things you sort of allude to is it's interesting the racetrack. We're in such competition there. They look at the riders, they're all in the room, they're competing with each other, yet many of them are friends. Trainers, the same thing. They compete against each other, but they're friends and owners as well, obviously, And there's something about a sort of shared camaraderie. Maybe it comes with the disappointment that we share, but also knowing how great it is to be successful.
Yeah, I mean, you have to learn to be a good loser, right? I mean, you lose all the time. I mean, you lose most of the time. So, and you get used to it. You try to do it with class and do it the right way, and you obviously appreciate the wins more when you lose a lot.
So I saw you won a race at Del Mar the other day. Did you go to opening day at Del Mar?
I did go to opening day at Del Mar, and that is something that if you haven't been, I would strongly suggest opening day at Del Mar. It's unbelievable. I mean, really. I went last year for the first time, and I hope that it's funny. The two places, honestly, taking Saratoga out because this place is so magical. I have a friend back there, Brad Weisford, and when I started getting into racing, he said to me, look, there are 2 days that you can never miss, and it's an opening day at Del Mar and going into Alaska. And I sort of looked at him and just kind of rolled my eyes because I do that frequently when he tells me things. Exactly. And I gotta say, he's dead right. I've been to both those events the last 2 years, and it's incredible. I mean, putting on the top hat and the tails and going to Alaska, it's just one of those things that, it's unbelievable. And Del Mar Open, there's no part of that.
Now, speaking of Alaska, because Julian, of course, won what's happening to Alaska, you won, not this year, but last year, with a draft who's running Monday in Saratoga. So you won that sprint. You won West Welker, and you were partners?
Yeah, that's a great horse. And that was funny. I went that year, but I had to work, so I only stayed for 2 days. We had a couple of tours and went early at Ascot. And I brought my wife. We had a great time. We left. We watched the.
You weren't there anymore?
I wasn't there, and Wes wasn't there. So Gatewood Bell got the trophy, which was great. He's a golf horse. He's terrific. And it was amazing. It was the first time my wife ever yelled at me about a horse because the Queen gave us a trophy. And she said, I go with you to all this stuff, and this is the one time I could have been the Queen of England that made me miss it. So,
yeah, probably not going to get too many other chances to be the Queen. So you got, he ran back there this year. Did you go for him?
He did, yeah. This year, of course, he did.
Right,
I think he ran Johnny Heater for us, and it was again, a great experience to go out there. It was awesome.
Seems pretty amazing. Now, you have obviously horses around different places, different trainers, but your main trainer, the guy you first started with, is Chad Brown. Obviously, we're all familiar with Chad. He's a good friend of mine. He's been on the show a few times. What is it like having Chad as a trainer?
Look, he hates to lose, right? I mean, the thing I love about Chad is he likes to lose less than I do. I mean, I don't care if it's a $20,000 claimer or the Diana on Saturday. It doesn't matter. I mean, this guy wants to win every race. He works his tail off. He prepares. He knows his horses. He's obviously grown his stable tremendously over the last few years. He's as good as they come. I mean, the guy is he's young. He's focused, and he's also a good friend. I really enjoy racing with him, and he's taught me a ton. He's protected me. He sort of told me where to be careful, where not to be careful, and I'll always appreciate it. I'll always be a friend. And he said he's
certainly agree with all the things Nolan is up to and how Perry is named. Another horse that Brian Lynch trains, named Lightstorm, who you're expecting, I assume, to go to the test next weekend?
Yep, that's right.
She ran very well in the Foods for the wide trip against the Gold Whale, and I think she's going to be very tough to beat.
I think you're right. I love this horse. I have a couple of horses with Brian Lynch, also a really capable trainer. I saw the horse break a maiden at Florida, and it was hard to get the kind of one horse to sell his son and did, and a great guy to partner with. And she just continues to get better, and as you said, she's got some numbers to come back. And I think I'm not sure she won that race, but she definitely should have been second. I think she has a good match. So we'll see. We're excited for that race, and I think we got a pretty good shot at it.
And she'll square up against Louis Bay, who just did better last time, who was coming back the distance as she is, and she could be one of the favorites, but even along with, I want to say, Karina, as that horse for Kieran Block, would be probably the favorite.
That's right.
Correct. And for those of you that see Karina, when she runs back, she won a race at Belmont in her fire start. The time will say 1:07 and change. It's wrong. It was 1:08 and change is actually the right time for that race. So you've got Wavell Avenue as well. You won a Breeders' Cup. Is that your first Breeders' Cup win?
No,
of course. You got involved with Michael Dove.
Yes.
You have a number of horses with Michael, including Wake Forest and the Man Award. You got involved with Michael as somebody close friend that's been in the show as well. One of the most successful and smartest owners.
He's great. I mean, Chad introduced me to Mike my first year doing this, and he's been a terrific partner.
There he is.
Mike Dove, there he is.
I didn't know he was here and I was talking about to him.
He looks good, he looks good.
He's wearing blazers.
He is. That's his first blazer. You might have heard him.
No, Mike's been just an awesome partner. He's kind of been like a big brother to me. He's taught me a lot. He's always kind of saying, hey, we got to watch out for this, and let's think about this. And he runs it like a business. He also hates to lose. He's a terrific ambassador for the sport. And just an awesome guy. He's become a really close friend and met a lot of us together. I'm really excited to meet.
Yeah, it's going to be a great meet. Sol, can't thank you enough for coming up and joining us here. Thanks a lot. I hope you have a great meet. Wish you all the best of luck. Thank you very much. So we come right back at the post line is brought to you by the Saratoga Hospital Foundation. Together, we support community health.
That's funny. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it, man. You pumped up?
Yeah.
What do you think in the